All right. Hey y'all, we are live. Just trying to get there we go. Get Instagram popping. All right. We are live. We are live. Happy New Year. Listen, I know that it is January 15th, and some of you are no longer saying Happy New Year, but I like to say Happy New Year all the way until the end of the month because it is still the new year. So I would love to hear from you in the chat. How long do you say Happy New Year? Because I feel like it's a little different for everyone. The other thing is, if you haven't seen someone in the new year and you're just seeing them for the first time, I think it's okay to say Happy New Year up until a certain point, not in like June or something, right? Hey, y'all. I am so excited to be here. So excited to be jumping in here on this topic with you this evening, right? Staying motivated to actually achieve your goals in 2025. And the reason I put actually, because so many of us set really ambitious goals in the beginning of the year, and then when life starts lifing, the first thing to fall to the wayside is our goals, right? Is the things that we really wanted for ourselves, the things that we felt really excited about. Sometimes as the year is ending and going into the new year, we have this incredible level of excitement for all of these things that we really want to make happen in our lives. And unfortunately, um, a very large percentage of individuals who set their goals or New Year's resolutions, I don't really do resolutions, but whatever, set their goals or New Year resolutions, they just never come to fruition, right? Like they never get to really achieve those goals. And tonight, I want to just have that conversation with you about how do you stay motivated to actually achieve what you want for yourself in 2025. Because, first and foremost, you deserve to live an amazing life. You deserve to live a life that you don't want a break from, that you don't need a break from. You deserve to live a life that you wake up every morning excited to go and live, to experience, right? And so many of us are not living that life. So many of us are just in this day-to-day struggle. And please let me know if you can hear me, because I know sometimes there are issues with the sound. So if you can hear me, just let me know that if you can hear me, okay? But yeah, so many of us are just living on autopilot, right? Going through the day to day, wishing for more, wishing for something different. So we're going to dive in to that today. But let's just talk a bit about the fact that it is January 15th. Hey, girl. It is January 15th. Thank you for being here. And the new year, the first 15 days of this year already feel amazing. Now, let me say this. I started off the first 3 days of the year with a sinus infection. And even something like that, right? Like something as minor as a sinus infection can just throw you off because most people want to hit the ground running. It's day one, I'm ready to jump right in. And then you get sick and it feels like, ah, I just can't right now because I was sick and I took so much time to take care of myself. And now I feel like I'm behind. And just those 3 days could throw someone off. Those 3 days can make someone say, I just don't have time. But I will say that the first 15 days of January, minus the 3 or 4 pretty much for my sinus infection, have been phenomenal because I have connected with some amazing people. I have gone to amazing events. I have spent time with the people that I love, with my friends and family. Hey, Tiella girl, I was just out last weekend and saw the beautiful Tiella Grimes, who was reciting some poetry from our sister's new book, Vicky Breedy. If you don't know Vicky Breedy, you need to know Vicky Breedy. Definitely go out. She just dropped 2 new books. So go check her out. She is amazing. But just starting the new year, oh my God. And I'm going to talk a little bit about this too later. But starting the new year and that type of energy, right? Surrounded by good people and experiencing good things, for me, it's just already setting the tone for what my year is going to be like. So I'm feeling really good about that. So let's jump in because we have quite a bit to discuss here this evening. Yes, girl. We have quite a bit to discuss here this evening. I have my notes because you know what? I get so excited that sometimes I may forget some stuff. So I make sure that I am staying on point, y'all. Because one, I love to talk. As you see, I am here alone this evening. Oh, before I go jump into the topic, I want to say that also the way I ended my 2024 was also me setting the tone with intention for this year, because this for me is going to be a year of joy, right? A year of peace, a year of success, a year of abundance, a year of rest, right? And rest is always going to be a part of it because sometimes we forget how critical rest is, all right? But I ended my year spending a full day at a spa. And I went to that spa, I got a massage, and me and my best friend, and this is something that we do annually, but really setting our intention to say we are ending this new year. We're not this year. We decided not to end the year with doing vision boards and planning and all that stuff. Like we just decided that we was going to end the year in a place of rest and restoration. And when I tell you that really prepared my mind, it really prepared me mentally for what's about to happen in this year. So I'm super excited. So let's talk goals. Let's talk goals. Yes, let me see what my sister's saying down here. Yes, yes. That perfectionist mind is no joke. Okay. That perfectionist mind. We definitely talk some more about that tonight too, right? Like how the perfectionist mind is also something that can cause us to not achieve our goals or to not move forward, right? Feeling like if it's not good enough, if it's not exactly the way I envisioned it in my mind, then it's I just can't put it out. And just that alone can hold you back, not only from success, but from joy, right? Because as you know, when you are in that perfectionism space, you're overthinking, you're feeling stressed, you're feeling anxious, and we should never be overthinking, feeling stressed or anxious about what we've been called to do. We should never feel overwhelmed or be overthinking, stressed, or anxious about our gifts, right? And now I'm speaking from experience. So, sis, trust me, I totally get it. And so, when we are in the space, we have to take a moment to recognize what we're doing to ourselves and how we're really hurting ourselves. Get out of here, thumb. How we're really hurting ourselves when we're in that place of perfection. I mean, asking ourselves, how do we feel, right? So last week I put out a post and I had a little typo in the post. And I didn't notice it. And I spent some time on the post. And someone sent me a text that said, did you actually mean this? And I'm like, yeah, I did. And for a minute, I began to feel like I wasn't good enough. Just drop like a thumbs up if you've ever had that feeling like you made a mistake and damn, I'm not good enough. Right. And the fact that someone pointed it out, you start thinking, well, dad, if they saw it, how many other people saw my mistake? Right. And so then I said to myself, you know what? She knew what I meant, right? Which also says other people knew what I meant. And guess what? Done is better than perfect. Now, I'm not saying we go out here just putting out crap and doing whatever and acting like we don't care, because sometimes it's also giving yourself grace and understanding like maybe I'm overthinking this because I really, really love what I'm doing and I really want to make the impact that I desire to make. And that's all understandable, but not when it's at the cost of your own well-being, right? So let's just keep that in mind. So let's talk a bit about these goals. First of all, I would love if you're open and willing to just share what's one of your top goals for this year, right? I would say one of my oh my god, I don't even know if I want to share it yet because I'm gonna bust it out at the end of this discussion. So I'm gonna share one of my top goals, a vision that I have been blessed with, something I feel that I've been called to do a long time ago. I'm also being obedient this year and doing everything that God asked me to do when He asked me to do it. Right? I saw a post the other day that said, delayed obedience is still disobedience, right? And so I am working to be diligent, right? So so we got lose weight. Yes, awesome. I would love to hear if anybody else. Thank you for sharing, Gigi. So as I was preparing to talk about this evening, I wanted to look up some statistics around people's New Year's resolutions and what's happening in the world. So let me just share some stats with you. About 30% of Americans make New Year's resolutions annually. 30%. Now, that is a large number because we are a big country, okay? So 30%. And the majority of those New Year's resolutions are centered around health. So like getting fit, losing weight, improving nutrition, and financial stability. So those are the top things that people set their New Year's resolutions around. And just like Gigi put in here, losing weight, right? So that is usually like those are the top areas that people set their resolutions around, which tells us that people really do care about their health, even if they're not healthy, even if they're struggling with their health, even if they're struggling with their weight, they do care, right? And so it's something that people are thinking about every year because these things are at the top of people's New Year's resolutions every year. Weight loss, improving health, improving mental health, and financial stability, which is also a part of health, right? Because financial stability or financial health is a part of the spectrums of health, right? And then 80% of that 30% of people feel confident in their ability to follow through with achieving that goals. Now that's a big number. That's close to 100%, right? Like 80% of people feel confident in their ability to achieve their goals. But here's what really stands out. Here's what really stands out. Only about 25% of people actually stay committed to their resolutions. And that's just in the first month. Just in the first month. And that's why I felt so convicted to have this conversation in the middle of this month. Like today is the 15th. We are in the middle of the month. So we're in between the beginning and the end. And it's a good time to ask yourself, where am I on what I want for myself? Where am I on working towards the goals that I really have, the vision that I have for myself this year? This is the time right now. If you haven't gotten started yet, today is a good time to say, what's holding me back, right? What are the steps I can take tonight? While we're having this conversation, I hope you got your pen and paper. What are the steps I can take to really move the needle forward so that I can be in a better place at the end of the month than I am right now? Right? So after that, 25% of people actually stay committed, and even fewer, less than 10% of those people who set goals at the beginning of the year actually achieve their goals. Less than 10%. So my question is, are you going to be a part of that statistic at the end of this year? Listen, I'm not trying to be nosy. I'm not trying to get in your business, but I'm trying to get in your business. Are you going to be a part of that statistic? at the end of this year? Are you going to be a part of that less than 10% of people who actually do what they say they're going to do at the end of this year? Let's not even say achieve the goals. Do what you say you're going to do. Are you going to be a part of that? I'm just, yes or no, drop it in the chat. Yes or no. Are you going to be a part of that less than 10% of people who actually achieve their goals at the end of the year? I want to know, because this is your opportunity to declare it. This is your opportunity to declare who you're going to be this year. So show the people in the chat, yes or no. Are you going to be a part of the less than 10% of people who actually achieve their goals? Now, I will say this, life will life. And I know that a lot of the times when we set goals, and the excuse that we give for not achieving or not doing what we say we're going to do is because of the challenges that arise. But I do want to remind you, no one ever said it would be easy. No one ever said it would be easy, right? Like the road to greatness is very narrow. Right? It's not a wide road where you can ride a bike and drive a car through. It's very narrow. And you got to squeeze through it, right? No one ever said it would be easy, but I will say this. Let's talk about what some of those challenges are. So one of the top challenges is the initial fade of the excitement, right? When we start the year, we're so excited. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. This is going to be the year, new me, blah, 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 right? And then as we get into the new year, we begin to treat each day just like any other day. Just like any other day. The excitement begins to dwindle and you stop talking about the goal. You stop researching, you stop taking action because now it doesn't feel as sexy as it did when you first had the vision, when you first had the dream, right? Because when you have a vision and you have a goal and you have a dream, that thing feels sexy. Am I right or am I wrong or am I right? Right? That thing feels sexy. And then you start to think about all the things you have to do to achieve that goal, the work you got to put in, the time you have to put in, the energy you have to put in. And all of a sudden it's like, oh my God, that's not as sexy as I thought it would be. Right. So the excitement begins to fade, right? And then we have some obstacles that may get in the way. So like I said, I started the year with yeah, hey, how you doing? Right. I started the year with a sinus infection. That was definitely a setback for me because, man, while I was in that bed, blowing my nose and, holding it down with the Vicks, I was thinking about all the things I could be doing right now, right? All the emails I could be sending out, the blog posts I could be working on, my big goal I could be working on right now. Yet I'm in the bed and I could have said to myself, you know what, maybe I'll start next month. Maybe this is my favorite one is when people say, maybe this is a sign. It's a sign that you're not supposed to be happy. No, that's how I'm going to put it, right? Because actually achieving those goals, achieving those dreams, actualizing those dreams that you have for yourself also come with joy. It comes with happiness. It comes with so much. So I cannot agree with maybe this is a sign that I'm not supposed to have those things because that's really what you're saying. Like, think about it. When you say maybe it's a sign I'm not supposed to have that, I'm not supposed to go after that, I'm not supposed to do this. What you're saying is maybe this is a sign I'm not supposed to be happy. I'm not supposed to have the things that I dream about, right? Then sometimes the goal that you set, it can be so big and have so many steps that you begin to feel overwhelmed, right? You begin to feel overwhelmed by the process, by the steps, by all the things you need to do. I was having a conversation with my baby sister today who has been dreaming about becoming a nail technician. And when I tell you she's an amazing nail technician, even though she didn't go to, I don't know how the girl learned it. And you know what? I'm not even going to say I don't know how she learned it. She was given the gift. She was given the gift. And she keeps giving me all these excuses for why she hasn't gotten certified, why she hasn't gone further into doing what she wants to do. And, the lack of belief that maybe it's not right now. Oh, I'm gonna. I don't want to hear I'm gonna. I want to hear I did. This is what I did today. This is the step I took. Not I'm gonna ain't gonna get you nowhere. All right, y'all, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to yell at you. I'm sorry. Forgive me. Forgive me. Y'all forgive me. Forgive me. Because I be getting mad when y'all don't be going after the things that's going to make you happy. I want you to be happy. All right. All right. Now, the other thing that sets in is that negative self-talk, right? That negative self-talk that tells you, oh, I don't have what it takes. Oh, maybe it's not the right time. Oh, I don't have the right support. I don't know where to start. I don't know what to do. I don't have the time. Maybe this, I don't. Oh my God. Until you've talked yourself right out of it. You have negative talked yourself right out of that very thing that you have been dreaming of. Right? That negative self-talk also breeds and feeds that imposter syndrome that tells you that you are not who you say you are, or that you are not who you believe you are, right? All that negative self-talk can feed so many things and keep you stuck right where you are. And you got to be tired of being stuck. You got to be. Because I know when I was stuck for all those years, I was exhausted and stuck. So you gotta be tired of being stuck. Listen, it's January 15th. I already said what I had to say. It's January 15th. Today is the day to decide, are you going to be at the same place at the end of this month that you was at the beginning of this month? Today is the day. This is the month you set your intentions and you set the tone for what this year is going to mean to you. You deserve to have a meaningful year, okay? So I want to dive, I don't want to go too quickly into the strategies because I want to just talk to you a little more about goal setting. And when that negative self-talk arises, is asking yourself, are these messages true? Are these messages that are coming through to me, that I'm feeling, that I'm entertaining, are they true? Like, what is the validation, right? What is the proof of what you're saying? When you say things like, I don't have support, I don't have time, I don't have like, what is the proof? And here's the thing, what you'll do to oh man, I just lost my word, y'all. What you'll do to validate those words, to validate that negative self-talk, is you'll start making up stuff. Oh, well, because I got to do this and I got to do that. And then I don't have time for this and I don't have time for that. And every time I try to do something, this happens. Like, you'll just start saying all the things to validate those thoughts and feeding those thoughts. But I will tell you, what feeds those thoughts more than anything else in the world is inaction. It's inaction, because you can have the thoughts and choose to do something different. You can have the thoughts and choose to move forward anyway. You can have the fear and choose to step out and take the action. At the end of the day, we all have choice. I will tell you, I get negative thoughts. I'm human. Especially in my business, right? In my business, when I want to do something new, even this big goal that I have for this year that I'm going to share with you towards the end, my first thought was, can you really do this? Like, do you really have what it takes to do this? Do you have the skills? Do you have the resources to do this? All of those thoughts came up. And even with those thoughts, I took action, right? Let me see what y'all talking about in here. Yeah. Oh, look, I used to say that all the time. That's from Gigi. Maybe it's a sign, right? Right. Same here. That's why I haven't been in the water class. Okay. I'm on Paxlovid since January 11th. Hopefully I'll be back. Yep. Okay. No worries. I look forward to seeing you. I look forward to seeing you. Right. But we have to ask ourselves, how are we feeding the thoughts that are telling us we don't have what it takes? How are we feeding the thoughts that are telling us we're not enough? The best meal, I'll say, because I like to eat, so I'm always talking about food. The best meal for negative thoughts, to fatten those negative thoughts, to make them real. Inaction. Inaction. Doing nothing. Right? I will tell you, every step you take cancels those negative thoughts. With every step you take, every step you take and the progress that you see, the feeling that you experience when you start taking action towards what you really want to do, to experience what you really want to experience, to live the life you really want to live, to have the body that you really want to have, to make the money you really want to make, cancels every thought out. It tells those thoughts, you can't live here. You can visit, but you can't stay the night. You can't stop them from showing up, but you can put them on pause, right? You can say, nope, you can't live here. Look at me. Look at what I'm doing, right? And so I'm gonna jump in to strategy because it's 7:50. Okay, we've been here for 30 minutes now. I'm gonna try not to stay here past 8:30, y'all, because y'all know I like to be in bed by 8:30. All right. So the first strategy, please get your pens, get your pads, get your paper. All right. The first strategy to actually achieving your goals in 2025 is clarity. I know you're like, what? Clarity. You have to be so clear on that goal. What you want. How is achieving that goal going to change your life? How is achieving that goal going to change someone else's life? When you sit down and you think about achieving this goal, where do you see yourself? What has changed in your life? Who's with you? Right? What are your day-to-day experiences like? When you wake up every day, what does it look like? What does it feel like? What kind of clothes are you wearing? Where are you living? How much money are you making? Right? When you need that level of clarity on where you're going. Because without that level of clarity, it's much easier to get distracted and lose motivation. So I want you to answer those questions. What does it look like? What is success when achieving this goal? What does it look like? Who's with you? Right? If it's a weight loss goal, how much do you weigh? What does your body look like? What kind of clothes are you wearing now? What are you doing differently in your new body, in your new feeling, in your new energy? What are you doing different? What changes have you made in your life because of that success? If it's a business goal, how much money are you making? Did you move? Did you buy a house? Where are you living? What are you doing for yourself? What has changed in your life? If it's your career, are you getting a promotion? What's going to happen when you get that promotion? Where will you be when you get that promotion? Where do you want to work? Some of you may be looking for a change in your career. What does that change look like? What does that change mean to you? What is your life going to be like when that happens? Who's going to be with you? Right? All of those things matter. That is a part of your vision. When you wake up in the morning, what does that look like? When you go to bed at night, what does that look like? All of that is a part of your vision. And then when you feel like you're getting distracted or you're losing motivation, you can go right back to that vision and ask yourself, is giving up worth letting go of that vision? Because let me tell you something, when you write down your vision, write your vision down, and you read that, you should get up and look at that every single day as a reminder to who you're becoming, the journey you're taking, how proud you are going to be of yourself when you achieve that goal. Like, let's talk about that for a minute. How do you feel when you keep the promises that you make to yourself? Drop it in the chat. Tell me, how do you feel when you tell yourself, I'm going to do this for me, and you actually do it, and you accomplish that thing that you set out to do for you? How do you feel? Right? So many people are chasing the next level life, right? Like, the glitz and the glam, the nice clothes, the nice house, the nice car, and all of those things are great, right? Well and dandy. But it will never match how you feel. And when you think about where you are right now and how you feel versus how you'll feel when that vision becomes your reality, the question is it worth stopping? I'm not saying you can't take a break. I'm not saying you might not have to slow down a little bit to speed back up, but is it worth coming to a complete halt? That is the question to ask yourself. And this is why you have to be very clear on what it is you want, what it looks like when you visualize yourself, that future version of yourself. And that future version of yourself, we're just talking about the you at the end of this year. We're not even talking about you 5 years from now. We're not talking about you 10 years from now. We're talking about the you 11 months and 16 days from now. You'll be amazed at what can happen in your life in just 3 months. Forget the whole year. You'd be amazed at what can happen in your life if you stick to your goals for the next 3 months. All right. So that's the first strategy. So I want you to take some time and just write that vision down for yourself, right? Like, that's your homework. I'm giving you homework. Take some time to really write that vision. And continuously add to it, because sometimes things come up and you get a feel, oh, let me add this to my vision, right? Take some time to do that. Next, once we have the vision of what our life is going to look like 11 months and 16 days from now, then it's alignment. Ooh, that's a big word, y'all. Now, let me tell you something. In my work as a coach, the number one thing I hear from my clients is, Carmen, I feel lost. I feel lost. I don't have balance in my life. I don't have time to prioritize myself. I don't know if I'm coming or going. And there's so much I want to do, but I just don't know. And I will tell you that the majority of the time, it's because they're out of alignment. Throughout my life, when I was struggling with so much and constantly seeking ways to be happy, going to school, getting certifications, getting into relationships, in and out of relationships, partying, traveling, just searching the world for happiness. And no matter how hard I searched the globe, no matter how much I searched in schools and I searched in relationships, I could not feel fulfilled. I was eating all the things, but I never ate the right thing. I was completely out of alignment for the life that I actually wanted for myself. And that required me to make some really hard decisions. It required me to let some people go out of my life, right? To let go of some really bad habits that I had, to shift the way I thought, to begin showing up for myself in a different way in order to get in alignment. So now, when I think about balance, honestly, balance requires alignment. We think that when we have balance, oh, life is going to be so much easier when I get more balance and when I get more time. Newsflash, you're not getting any more time because we all have 24 hours every single day. My question is, what are you doing with yours? Are your 24 hours aligned? Are the things that you're doing, the places you're spending your time and energy, the people you're spending your time and energy with, the actions that you're taking, are they in alignment with that vision that you have for yourself? The moment you decide to get in alignment, you get on that narrow road to success. See, a lot of people struggle with being in alignment because they're afraid to make the change. And a lot of people are also afraid to make the change for fear of how others are going to see them, how others are going to treat them, how others are going to think about them. But my question is, are those people you're worried about in your vision? I'm just asking for a friend. I'm asking for a friend. Are they in your vision? Right? Can they make your vision? Can they make your vision a reality? Girl, let me take a sip of tea. Let me drink this tea. Can they make your vision a reality? That's a serious question. So how do we get in alignment? It starts with identifying your core values. What are your values? What are the things that's most important to you? And when you look at how you're living every single day and the decisions that you're making every single day, are those things aligned with your values? You know, if your value is wealth, are you saving money? Are you investing money? Are you spending in places that you don't need to be spending? Are you eating out every day? Are you shopping? Well, that doesn't align with wealth. If your value is trust, right? Well, trust requires you to show up every day. Like, how do we build trust with people? We build trust with people based on how they show up for us. Okay. But if you're not even showing up for yourself, how do you begin to trust yourself to make your vision a reality? If your vision is health, but you're eating unhealthy foods every day, you're not getting up and moving your body, you're not taking breaks, not going to bed at night, you're staying up and scrolling social media, you're having tumultuous relationships with people, then is that in alignment with health? These are the questions that you have to ask yourself. What are my values? And am I aligned with the things that are most important to me? Right? And you could do that every single day. Let me tell you something. Oh, I do that so many times throughout the day. Whenever I'm making a decision, I have to ask myself, does this align with what I want? And you know my saying, right? Who knows my saying? Who knows my saying? If it doesn't align, I must decline, right? I have to ask myself, is this in alignment with the life I want for myself? Is it in alignment with the impact I want to have in the world, in my community, on my family, on my friends? Is it in alignment? And sometimes it's not, right? There's no perfecting alignment. It's just always checking your alignment, checking your alignment. Guess what? Think about this. All right. If you have a car, right? And if your car has ever been out of alignment, what does it do? It goes this way, and then it goes this way, and then you have to keep trying to fix the wheel, right, to align it back straight to go where you want it to go. It's the same with your life. When you are not in alignment, sometimes you find yourself going this way, and then you might find yourself going this way and realizing this is not the way I want to be going, and this is definitely not the way I want to be going. I want to go this way. And so we have to constantly check the alignment of our lives to make sure that we are moving in the right direction. Because I'll tell you this, I'll tell you this, the more you veer into the wrong direction, the more misery you will experience in your life, the more unhappiness you will experience in your life. And when you are feeling miserable, unhappy, like you're not good enough, that's a sign that you're out of alignment. When you are feeling depressed, when you are feeling anxious, when you are worrying, that's a sign that you are out of alignment. Those are all signs. When you are feeling unhealthy in your mind and in your body, you're feeling sick, that's a sign that you are out of alignment. So what you're going to do? Write it down. What are your values? What are the things that matter most to you? And then evaluate your life, right? Evaluate whether or not these things that matter most to you, ask yourself, am I living in alignment with these things that I said are most important to me? You have to do a life audit. Audit yourself, because we can definitely audit some other people. We could look at other people and say what other people are not doing right, what other people should be doing right, but we struggle to look in the mirror. We struggle to look in the mirror, right? So this is a great, and listen, I'm not judging you, because let me tell you something. I was there, all right? And sometimes my wheel goes like this, but I check myself before I wreck myself. All right, sorry, y'all, I get crazy. All right, right. So asking yourself, am I in alignment? Right? This is more homework. Am I in alignment with the person I want to become, with the vision I have for myself? Am I in alignment? Right? So we talked about clarity, right? Getting really clear on that vision you want for yourself, writing it down. I shared a few questions, so if you didn't get it, after this, make sure you just go on and hit rewind, replay, and watch it again. And make sure y'all leave some comments there, especially if you're on YouTube. Make sure you hit the like and follow button. Please share the podcast with people who you think could really benefit from the messages that are shared here. I love being here with you, and I love that you're here with me. So, okay. All right. Sorry, that was real lovey-dovey. I love you. All right. So, lastly, I like to save the best for last. Lastly, you need systems, sis. You need systems. See, we think that we could just get up today and be like, all right, today I guess I'll work on the goal. Okay, today I'll do. No, you need systems, routines, rituals that's going to help you stay on track. What are the systems that you have set up for yourself to help you stay on track? Right? So, for example, right, because sometimes people hear systems and like, systems sound like some computer stuff, and I don't know what you're talking about. So I'm going to break it down, because what I do want you to do is leave here with clarity. That's what I want for you. Systems. So if one of your systems if one of your goals is to improve your health, let's say to lose weight, then one of those systems can be a meal prepping system. What does that system look like? Well, on this day of the week, I go grocery shopping. After I go grocery shopping, I come home, I put my stuff together. Immediately, I put my stuff together. I start seasoning my meats. I start cooking my stuff and getting what I need. After I finish cooking, I put my stuff in the fridge. At least for 3 days, I got meals prepped for lunch and dinner for the next 3 days. That's a system. Right? That's a system that sets you up for success. What I do, I meal prep 2 nights a week, right? No, sometimes. It depends on what's going on at home, and it depends on if we ate all the food. Usually it's 1 time a week. But when I'm cooking, I'm also boiling eggs for breakfast and getting them ready. I'm actually, while I'm cooking the dinner, I'm making salad and chopping up salad and putting it in a big bowl in the fridge. That way I can just get salad every night. I'm already prepared. One of the main reasons why we struggle to achieve goals is a lack of preparation. It's a lack of preparation. So how do you set yourself up for success? Put some systems in place. Put some routines in place, right? And stop living on autopilot, just doing stuff, blowing like a leaf in the wind, right? If you know that, hey, I want to, what is something else? I want to read a book a month, right? So many people always say, "Oh, I want to read more." And just so you know, we have a book club called the Boss and Beauty Book Club. And if you are interested, let me see. Okay, I want to see. I probably can't do it. I'm sorry, y'all. I should have had that link ready for y'all. But it will be, I will share it out in the email. If you're not on my email list, please get on my email list. I will share it out. Just go to the link in my bio on Instagram. Okay. But that's right. If you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. Let me tell you something. I make my chia pudding. That's what I eat on Tuesdays and Thursdays. But on Sunday evening, that's already in the fridge. I'm eating eggs tomorrow morning. They're boiled tonight. Right? I know I want a bowl of fruit in the morning. I'm cutting that fruit up right now because I know tomorrow's going to be crazy. So I'm putting everything together right now. If you say, hey, I want to be able to go to the gym at least 3 days a week, how are you setting yourself up for success? Right? I'm taking out my gym clothes at night, putting them right there on the chair. I fill up my water bottle before I go to bed and I put it by the door outside because it's cold as hell and it can keep cold for me, right? My sneakers are right there. Everything I need is right there. I read off from the book. I want to read 1 book a month. Guess what? My book is sitting on my nightstand. When I wake up in the morning, I grab the book. First thing I do, right? And then a part of your system can include habit stacking. What do I do after I read? My journal is right there. As soon as I finish reading, I start journaling. As soon as I finish journaling, I start praying. As soon as I finish praying, I start brushing my teeth. Like habit stacking. Have your systems in place. Don't let anything take you away from your systems. And what happens is if you're consistent on your systems, eventually you build discipline. You build discipline. And when you have discipline will keep you going more than motivation will any day. The problem is we're relying on motivation. We're relying on the motivation, right? But when you have discipline will trump that motivation any day. But I'll tell you what will keep you motivated is seeing that success. Is seeing those results, is seeing that change. And not just the physical change, not just the tangible change, but the change in your mental health. Waking up every day and feeling like, okay, I'm ready. I'm prepared. Like I don't got to get up and rush and get this done because I'm prepared. I'm ready. Things are moving with ease. And I don't only have systems for me, I have systems for my son. Guess what? Before the night ends, honey, straighten up your room, make sure your homework's done, get your clothes out, iron your clothes, take your shower, wind down. When he wakes up in the morning, brother gets up, brushes teeth, throws his clothes on, he's ready to go. I don't have to do the running around the house. Did you do this? Did you iron? No, we got systems. That is the most important part of achieving your goals and really bringing that vision to life is having systems. And this is what I'm teaching my women that I work with. The coaching that I do is teaching my clients how to develop systems for success, systems for flow. You want to be in flow? Like when you are not in flow, you're not in alignment, you're not balanced, you feel like you are just moving, you're being pulled in every direction. You don't know if you're coming or going, you don't know if it's working or not. Like, that's not a good place to be. Right. And here's the other thing, because life happens, because listen, life is nothing's going to be perfect. Even when you have systems, it won't be perfect. But because life happens, sometimes you might be pulled away from your systems. But guess what? When you have a system, you always have something to go back to. You know what works for you, right? When I get pulled away from my system and things get busy, I always know how to get right back in the system. And I know how to work the system because I developed the system. I created the system. I didn't create a system based on what works for somebody else. I didn't create a system based on what somebody told me I should be doing. I created a system based on what works for me, based on that vision that I have for my life and the alignment that I'm in. I created that system based on those things. And so it's easy to get right back into what you created for you, but you need the system. Okay. And so, again, today's just the 15th. And it's a great time to start thinking about my vision, your vision, whether or not you are in alignment, and then what systems you need to establish in order to make your vision a reality, right? I'm just going back to my note here, right? And what systems do you need to create? Right? And here's the thing, don't overthink it, right? Don't overthink the system. Start small. Start small. Some people want to be able to get up at 5 a.m. and start their day at 5 a.m., right? When I was working full time, I started my day at 4:30 a.m. Now I started at 5 a.m. And people always say, like, how do you start your day at 5 a.m.? I could never, because I have a system. By 8 p.m., my phone is on do not disturb. My phone is already on do not disturb, y'all. Can't nobody call me right now. That's a part of my system, right? Usually by 8:30, I'm already in the bed. In the bed. By 9 p.m., I'm knocked out, honey. Lights out. My son's bedtime, 8:30 p.m. We all shutting down, 8:30 p.m. And so because I have that system in place that allows me to get in the bed and get a full night of rest, then I set my alarm clock for 4:45, not 5 a.m. If I want to get my day started at 5 a.m., I can't set the alarm clock for 5 a.m. So I set it for 4:40. 4:40, 4:40. Sorry, not 4:45. 4:40. Right? Because when that alarm goes off, I can hit snooze. I was already woke me up, so I'm not going back into a deep sleep. But I can hit snooze and be like, then it's gonna go off again about 8 minutes later. Now I'm gonna open my eyes. And by 4:55, I'm up, grabbing my books, putting on my glasses, getting my pen, and starting my reading by 5 a.m. That's my system. Because if I set the alarm clock to go off at 5, I probably won't start reading till about 5:20, 5:30, right? But that's my system. And so you have to ask yourself, what is the system that you need to put in place to achieve success and to manifest that vision? And then check in with yourself. Check in with yourself. And that's the accountability, right? Checking in with yourself, maybe at the end of each week. I'm not going to say at the end of each day, because you know what? Ain't nobody got time for that, right? But at the end of each week, asking yourself, how did I do? Right. One thing I did want to talk about quickly is the power, like the importance of accountability, like why accountability is so amazing. Right. First and foremost, you got to hold yourself accountable before you ask somebody else to be an accountability partner. You have to hold yourself accountable, and holding yourself accountable can just look like doing a check-in at the end of the week. How did I do? What did I accomplish this week? What tasks did I say I was going to do this week that I did accomplish? And if there are any that I didn't, why didn't I? Was I procrastinating? Was I overthinking? Did I just say, you know what, to hell with it, right? Like, ask yourself those questions. And then the question should always be, how do I want to improve next week? What do I want to do differently next week? How are my systems working for me? What do I want to include in my systems? What do I want to remove from my system? Right? Check in with yourself. That's accountability. The other part of accountability is then you can also tell other people about your goals, share your vision. You know why people be like, oh, I don't like sharing my goals in public. I don't like telling people my dreams because people always trying to crush them. Can't nobody crush your dreams but you, baby. You are the ultimate dream crusher, okay? Nobody else is supposed to be as excited about your goals than you are. Let me just be clear about that, all right? But a lot of people will not share their vision or share their goal because they're not even certain that they're going to do it. Let's keep it real. I've been there, right? A lot of people will not share that vision or share that goal because they're not even certain themselves that they're actually going to go through with it, right? Talk about your goals. Talk about your vision to anybody who you think is worthy of having that conversation with. Talk about it. Keep it alive. Keep your vision alive. Keep your dreams alive. Talk about it, right? The other part of accountability is getting in the right spaces. Getting out, networking, meeting people, talking to people, meeting new people, people who inspire you, people who can encourage you, people you can learn from. That's also accountability, because one thing people gonna do when you get outside is ask you who you are and what you do. And what you're gonna tell them. Well, I've been thinking about doing this thing and I was gonna do. No. When you get outside and people start asking you, you better stand firm. This is what I do and this is where I'm going. Period. Getting in inspirational spaces, getting in spaces where there's other boss ass people doing stuff will make you say, yeah, I'm a boss. Yeah, you got to get around some bosses. You got to get in the space of some bosses. All right, y'all. I'm going to share now. I'm going to share my big goal for the year because I'm certain about it. I feel good about it. So I am establishing a membership community. And the name of my membership community is the Fulfilled Women's Circle. And the goal of this community is to serve ambitious women, right? To help ambitious women to establish these very things, right? To establish clarity about their goals and their visions, to develop the habits and the systems that they need to improve their health, to bring their vision to reality, to become the woman that they know they are meant to be. My goal is to have this community ready and available for you to join by February. So right now, I'm just putting all the stuff together, getting it all ready. And I'm so looking forward to inviting you into this community where you'll receive coaching every month. You'll have resources to really support you with continuing on your journey. With continuing on your journey, you'll receive great resources, but more importantly, you'll get to join a community of women. A community of women who are also self-actualizing, a community of women who are also prioritizing their health and well-being, a community of women who are saying yes to themselves over and over and over again, who are saying yes to joy, who are saying yes to peace, who are saying yes to wealth, who are saying yes to all the things that allow us to shine. And I want to invite you to be a part of that community. So please just keep your ears and eyes out as I will be posting once the community is open. And I look forward. And if you have any questions about the community, feel free to reach out and ask. You know how to reach me. I just want to say thank you. Thank you. It is 8:31, y'all. I did it. I did it. I want to say thank you for tuning in this evening and joining me for this very enlightening conversation. And again, just remember the question is, who are you going to be at the end of this month? Are you going to be the same person you were at the beginning of this month? And the person that you choose to become by the end of this month will set the tone for 2025. I gave you some gems here tonight. I gave you some tools that you can really begin incorporating and thinking about to support you with taking just the first step. Just the first step in bringing your vision, manifesting your vision, making it a reality. I hope that this was as enlightening for you as it was for me. I just love doing this. So I look forward to seeing you on the next episode of the Walk in Power podcast. Again, please hit that like button on YouTube. Leave a comment, share the episode with someone who you really think that this episode will impact. Just thank you. Thank you for all of your support. Thank you for all of your love and your encouragement. And if you see me outside, don't hesitate to come over and say hi to your girl and give me a hug. I love you so much. And until next time, walk in power. Peace, y'all.